Hi, and welcome back to This Week in Bobcat Athletics. We've had a little fun over the holidays. Bobcat basketball has been really surging. Men and women have been doing well. We've had men's volleyball back. I hope everyone had a great holidays. We're excited about this year. As you can see, we've got a big crowd behind me as we host Piedmont men's basketball tonight. So sit back, let's enjoy the show, and I'm going to tell you about just how you can be a part of Bobcat Nation. Thank you.
And welcome back to This Week in Bobcat Athletics. I'm Sports Information Director Chris Parker. Hope everybody had a great holiday season and a happy new year. We're about to be really busy here on the campus of Lees-McRae. And this afternoon we have senior women's basketball player Taylor Collins. Taylor, welcome to the show. Taylor, you guys went to Puerto Rico. Talk about that trip, not only as a team building experience, but just the experience overall.
Well, it was a really nice experience to have. Most of our girls hadn't flown before, so that was a nice experience. We got down there, it was nice to get away from the cold, nice to be in the 80-degree weather, and we practiced and worked hard and came back with a win. So it was a really great team bonding experience.
And you went to Alaska a couple of years ago as well, so 2 big trips in your career here at Lees-McRae. What does that mean, not for you only as a player, but just kind of personally to have that experience during your time in college?
Well, Alaska's somewhere that not many people get to go, so it was really nice to go up there and see the sights and experience the 2 different climates. When we went to Alaska, it was freezing, and then down in Puerto Rico, it was warm, but it was a great team bonding experience. You are with your team the entire time, so you get to learn each other's tics and what makes you guys work together. And Alaska was really just a great team bonding time because we were together all the time, and it was just cold, and we got to meet other teams from across the country, so it was nice to go up there.
All right. You're the lone senior on the team this year. Obviously, that's probably going to present some challenges. What are some challenges that you've had to face so far?
Well, we have young players. We have little communication issues, but we're learning. We're picking up on it. The college game is completely different game of play for them, and they're coming from being high school seniors, and they have to grow and learn to work together because they're used to being the only star in their team, and now it's a team of great players. So we've just had to work on our chemistry a lot, and it's frustrating, but it's become rewarding lately.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of that, as you said earlier, you guys kind of struggled out of the gates, but you've won 3 of your last 4. Just talk about, first of all, the little stretch you're on, and just over the last weekend, 2 wins by a combined of 3 points.
Well, free throws won those games. We've been working a lot on our free throws. Coach has been putting us through a lot of free throw work. We've started working harder. We didn't give up either of those games. We were down against Converse and we came back, and we just didn't give up. We haven't given up, and that's what I think is something that's changed in us. We've got a lot of fight in us still, and people have doubted us, but we're coming back and we're fighting to win and move up the ranks in conference.
Speaking of, you guys played a very tough Limestone team. Outside the first quarter, you guys were even with them. Only lost by double digits, but very strong game. And you turn around and play them again on Wednesday. Is there an advantage to seeing a team twice in such a short period of time?
Well, it gives you a quicker time to remember everyone. You have a better chance of remembering what you did wrong in the first game, so you can work on it in practice, and it's more recent in your memory. And I mean, let's hope that she doesn't shoot the ball the way she shot it last time. But it's a better advantage for us this time. We're going to be at home, so we're going to be shooting better at home and have an advantage on our side. Plus, the scouting makes it easier because we can just say, "Oh, that was just last week."
Right.
So we can just look back at the scouting and see that.
Looking back, not so much on the playing side, but just in your 4 years here in Banner Elk, what's one memory that you're really just going to take with you as you move forward?
Probably preseason every year, because that's when you get to learn everyone and learn what they're good at, what they're not good at. You get to bond together as a team because you're all out there suffering from running. But you learn to stick together, and that's just something that's really stuck with me throughout the years, like the way that we get close during preseason and how we always have each other's backs. So.
One kind of moving forward? Has it really sunk in that this is your last season as a collegiate player?
It hasn't sunk in. I remember it. I get told often. I get reminded that I'm the only senior. So, and everyone asks me what I'm doing after season, and I don't know. I'm hoping to coach, so I'm going to be around it.
You did mention, as you said, you do want to continue to coach. What influence has Coach Williams had on you in wanting to go down that path and just y'all's relationship on and off the court?
Oh, Coach has had a big influence on me. She's someone that I've always been able to go to and talk to, and she's shown me that you don't coach just because you like coaching. You have to love what you do to coach. Like, we've had some rough seasons, and she hasn't given up on us, and that just inspires me to be more like her. She's inspired me to not give up on people and just to keep pushing, and that she always believes in us, like even when we don't believe in ourselves. So that's always helped me a lot. So she's been a big influence on my future career choice.
All right. Well, Taylor, thanks for taking some time with us. Coach Williams and Taylor and the whole Bobcat squad will be here on Wednesday as they play number 10 Limestone at 5:30. And then they will host Emmanuel Saturday at 2 p.m. So we ask that you come out and support our Bobcat teams, and we'll be back shortly with This Week in Bobcat Athletics. And we are back with This Week in Bobcat Athletics with men's basketball coach Steve Harden. Coach, welcome back from the holiday season. Before Christmas, you guys got to take a trip to Puerto Rico.
Right.
Talk to our fans about that. How was that trip?
It was great. It was great for our kids. You know, we had probably about 9 to 11 guys out of 15 that hadn't flown before. So that was fun. You know, it's anytime but my first flight was actually as a college basketball player. So I think anytime you can go away and go do something that you just haven't been able to do, it's great for our team bonding, and it's just great for overall getting that done. It was a good trip for us. You know, we got to learn a lot about ourselves. They got to learn a totally different culture, so that was nice, and have a little bit of fun, get some beach time, and kind of get humbled in our first game. So it was good for us. So overall, it was a great trip.
You just talked about those games. You guys lost your first one, won a tight one, second one, but the scoring was kind of, I don't want to say it wasn't there, but it was a little bit of a minimum. Do you think the travel weary kind of helped with that, or was it just they were kind of awestruck by the surroundings that they were in?
I think it was a little bit of everything. The basketball and just where it was hot, and the gym was slick. It was different. The rest call it different, so it was a pretty physical game. We didn't adjust very well, so that was just for us to handle. And so it was good for us to learn in all kinds of different circumstances. Guys were out on the beach too much, so their legs and those kind of things, that happens to 50-point games as well. So if you just put everything together, I think travel, our travel was tough. It was a whole day of travel and a lot of layovers and things to make the trip affordable for us. So that was, I just say a lot of everything caused us only scoring 50 points a game.
One last question about your Puerto Rico trip. What is one lesson or message that you think the guys learned and brought back with them or are going to use throughout the rest of the season?
I think understanding each other. We had a good heart-to-heart meeting the night after the game. We actually ran right after we played, so I got on them pretty hard on that one just to kind of make a lesson. And then also team, we got together. They pushed each other. They really got on each other, and just overall just understanding how to be a professional almost. I know they're not professionals. I know we're college athletes, but just for the most part of understanding how you come, how you got to eat right, how you got to get your rest and all those kind of things. I think it was a valuable lesson for us to learn.
And speaking of rest, you guys really didn't have much of it. You come back, play upstate in an exhibition, and then you play a high-scoring shootout at Southern Wesleyan. All of this is on the road. Can you talk to us a little bit about Saturday's game, 98 points, and this is all without Austin Anderson.
Yes.
So. I mean, we all know that Austin is a very good player, but it seems that the team has been working to kind of just play without him almost. So what does that 98-point performance on Saturday say about how your team's adjusted?
Well, I mean, you go first with Austin. I think he's easily a first-team all-conference guy this year with a chance to maybe even get Player of the Year if he just keeps playing the way he does. But with saying that, we're strength in numbers. We talk about it all the time. One guy really doesn't doesn't kill us on the floor as much, but we had to learn how to play without him.
Right.
We had to learn how to execute a little better, to get other things done. We got a lot of guys that can score the basketball. It was just getting us in the right places. And so I think we learned that from the Limestone game. We struggled, we struggled on getting good baskets and getting timely back buckets and just little things that we needed for that big rebounds. And so I think we learned from that. And Southern Wesleyan, we just came, we strength in numbers, like we say. We have 14 guys score.
Right.
We had a lot of guys that are percentages. We talk about don't volume shoot it.
Right.
we want guys that are getting really good percentage numbers, and we had that as well. We had a lot of guys that were 1 for 2, 2 for 3, 2 for 4, those
Right.
kind of things. So great numbers for us. So offensively, we did a good job, and I thought defensively we created enough havoc with our fire that we messed them up. We still got to do better in the half court of getting stops, but that's kind of us. That's kind of what we're built on. That's what we are.
You talked a little bit about the Limestone game. First, you guys get Piedmont International tonight. They're winless on the season. You can't overlook them,
Right.
but you guys play Limestone again on Wednesday.
Right. Yeah.
I just talked to Taylor Collins a little bit about, I guess, some of the challenges of playing a team twice within basically a week. What is one thing, I don't want to say what concerns you, but what is the message you're going to preach to your guys before you guys play them again?
It's different. It's different playing in a week. I think the best thing that happened to us is that we got beat.
Right.
For playing these back-to-back ones are really close because you have to adjust. Hopefully we'll have Austin back by then, so Limestone has to totally adjust in a different way. But I think for the most part, it's it's a big need game for us. We're right now it's tied for the top in the conference, and we don't need to get swept by anybody.
Right.
We need to stay undefeated at home and keep our home stuff, so that really will come at the end. Last year it hurt us in getting swept by a couple people in the tiebreaker. It's going to bump you down. So I think it's probably the most important game we played all year long is the Limestone game.
And you talked a little bit about being at home. You finally guys are at home.
Right.
I believe 5 your next 7, 4 your next 5, something like that. You're here in Williams Gym. What does that mean? I mean, you talk about the travel and being able to get rest. How do you think the guys are going to finally, do you think that you're going to see a little bit of a different team now that you're playing on your home court in front of your home fans and you don't have to travel anywhere?
Right. We hope so. I mean, just with 11 home games overall, we got the least amount of home games of anybody in the conference and probably anybody in the region. So we've been road warriors this year, and we played a lot of tough teams. I think that overall it'd be huge for us. It'd be huge to see the fan base come out. Be exciting to see all the faculty and staff and just everybody around again. And hopefully we can get excited and maybe get a little more dunks than we have been. Maybe we can get up and down and naturally get our points up, but also play hard. These guys have worked extremely hard, and so hopefully they can showcase some of that starting with tonight, and then really get rolling for that Limestone game.
And one last question. You talked a little bit about you guys are tied atop the conference right now at 5-1, 8-7 overall. After tonight, it's all conference play.
Right.
No more non-conference games. How do you feel the team is prepared mentally that every game is a battle and it's just going to be an absolute war out there?
I think they understand it. I think we've grown up from last year, and we totally understand how to value each game, and that every one of them count the same. So it's huge for us. The only negative I'd say with us is if we don't score it well early, we're searching sometimes. So hopefully those baskets fall early, and if they don't, are we getting better every day to learn from that? And I think we are. And basketball's a grind. It's a long season. So if we can just keep stepping forward and keep pushing our foot and just keep getting better every day, I think we got a great chance to make a big run in March.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate you taking some time for us. Good luck tonight and this week. Coach Harden hosts the Piedmont International Bruins tonight at 6, and then they host Limestone at 7:30 on Wednesday, and they host Emmanuel at 4 o'clock on Saturday. So plenty of action for you, the fans, to come out and watch these Bobcats in action. And we'll be back shortly with This Week in Bobcat Athletics. And welcome back. We're going to do a little bit of what happened over the break and looking forward. Men's and women's basketball, as you saw with Coach Harden and Taylor, both took trips to Puerto Rico. They split down there. The women's team had a little bit more of an active schedule over the break. They went to East Tennessee State in exhibition, lost a pretty tough game there. And as you heard with Taylor, we played Limestone and lost by 17, but given they're the number 10 team in the country and undefeated and beat us by more than 30 here last year, that is a huge step. For the women's basketball upcoming schedule, They will be hosting Limestone here on Wednesday and at 5:30, and then they will play Emmanuel at 2 o'clock on Saturday. As you heard, the men's basketball team, pretty big road December as well. They split in Puerto Rico, lost their first game by about 9, and then they won their next one by 4. Then they turned and played at SC Upstate in an exhibition against a strong D1. And then, as you heard Coach Harden, tough road loss at Limestone, but they turned around and got a win at Southern Wesleyan, 98 points. So good to see that the team, 14 players scored. So a lot of points being distributed. The Bobcats host Piedmont International tonight in the last non-conference game of the year, and then they host Limestone on Wednesday at 7:30, and they host Emmanuel at 4 o'clock on Saturday. Another season to keep your eye on that's starting is men's volleyball. Men's volleyball will also be hosting Emmanuel this weekend. First serve is scheduled for noon. So this week is a very heavy home week for the Bobcats. 1 game tonight being Monday, 2 on Wednesday, and then a triple header, men's volleyball, and then both basketballs, all against Emmanuel on Saturday. So please come out and support your Bobcat athletics. Tennis is right around the corner and starting up, as is lacrosse season, only a couple weeks out before they start playing some games. And we will be back shortly with the outro from Craig McPhail.
Welcome back, Bobcat Nation. I'm Vice President of Athletics, Craig McPhail. We're here on the scene of a men's basketball game. But listen, you've got to come see us play. We are averaging 85 plus points a game. We run up and down the court. We're 5-1 in our conference as I stand here tonight. Things are really taking shape. And now our spring sports are back in action. So we've got tennis and softball, men's and women's lacrosse, track and field, men's volleyball. Come by the gym. It'll always be busy. I'd love for you to show you around. I'd love for you to meet some of our kids. They're great people. Just to tell you, we had over a 3.0 in the classroom this past year. We had 42 student athletes over a 3.75 grade point average. 11 teams had over a 3.0. So not only are we doing it on the court, we're doing it in the community, and we're certainly doing it in the classroom. Be a part of it, and you can see for yourself just how special these young people are. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much, Bobcat Nation. Stay tuned for more. Thank you.